everyone, I'm Pratna,
Hi everyone, I'm Anita.
and we're back again with another podcast. And today, the podcast is very, very special because we have so many friends joining us together, and we have come together to just chat and have discussions on certain topics. So, I would like to introduce the people who are here, that is, our friends. So, first, I'd start with Mehul. Mehul, could you please introduce yourself?
Hello everyone. I am Mehul Sinha from a third year medical student from India, and yeah, I met Manita in AMSA Hackathon, and I've met such a awesome group of people right now, and I'm really glad to have come over this platform to share my experience. And thanks for having me over, guys. Thank you.
It was so nice meeting you, Mehul. I really had enjoyed, and like meeting you and Aditi in the AMSA, like it was the highlight of my whole AMSA experience. And we are also joined by Aditi. So Aditi, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hey, hi guys. I'm Aditi Arora and I'm a third year medical student. I'm from India, Nagpur, and I'm really glad to be here with all of you. Thank you so much for having me here.
Okay, so we have two of our friends from Nepal, and today we have Mahendra. So I think, Mahendra, if you could tell us more about you.
Hello, everyone. So, my name is Mahendra. I'm a final year medical student. I'm studying at Birganj. So, since Mehul is from India, so I'm quite near the border of India. So, we're neighbors. I think I consider myself a neighbor of these two people, Aditi and Mehul. So, I'm really glad that you guys invited me over here. So, I'm really happy to share my experiences in AMSA. So, thank you so much.
It's awesome. Okay, so we have Astuti as well, and she's from NARHS. Astuti, please tell us a bit more about yourself.
Hello everyone, I am Astuti Acharya from Viratnagar and I am a 2B fourth year medical student. I am so glad and excited to share my experience on AMSA and thanks for inviting me over.
It's our pleasure having you all, and I'm sure this episode is going to be so much fun. And I'm sure that we are going to talk about a lot of interesting stuff. But like every conversation has to start with this "How are you?" right? So first, let me start by asking, how are you guys doing? What are you busy with these days?
So my lockdown period has basically constituted of me, like in the first half, me binge watching and try studying a bit, then getting bored. But nowadays, I have been much more overactive, and there's this part of me which I recognized in this lockdown itself, that okay, I like interacting with people, networking, and talking and connecting to new people. So I basically take part in competitions and become a part of organization which provide a platform for me to connect and explore different people's views and interests, and connect with them. So yeah, nowadays participating in a couple of hackathons, and yeah, that's it, how my time is passing by, right?
I'm having good time in, these days I'm trying to get over this new tech stuffs. I was really interested in knowing a few things about technology, but due to our busy schedule, I missed that part. So it's like rediscovering my old interest. So I'm trying to draw a few things, talk to a few people, and the classes are running, but sometimes I sneak into classes of another university, and that's like a really fun experience. I get to know so many good teachers and so many good students. So that is the thing I'm doing. I'm also looking to create something like some a platform where students can come together and they can share whatever they know. So that is what I'm thinking of. So that's all.
So that's so nice to hear, right? Like Mehul and Mahendra, like you've been passing time so well, and we have ample amount of free time. And I think we are fortunate enough that we don't have to live with uncertainties so far. So Astuti, how are you doing, and how is your lockdown going on?
Uh, at first, when I came home 5 months back, I was so glad because I got time to spend. I got time to spend with my family. Now it's like my first initial days were like binge watching Netflix, uh, it was most of the hours of my days were like binge watching. Then I shifted to kitchen to cook, tried to cook something, and then online class happened, and then exam routine happened. Then it got cancelled, and now I'm trying to. Uh, then AMSA happened. I made so many friends, and now I'm trying to learn something. I think I wasted lot of my lockdown period doing nothing but kitchen and Netflix. Now I'm regretting it, and I think now I'm focusing more on learning something.
That's great, Astuti. It's so good to hear that you're planning to learn something new. I hope that you'll find your own passion and then go with it. So Aditi, how are you doing?
Uh, I'm just like, yeah, even like in the starting, I was even, but yeah, like I am a part of a lot of organizations, maybe Rotary, maybe AMSA, and a lot actually there. So like, recently due to lockdown, maybe the work schedule has actually, overpowered because, we have a lot of free time. So yeah, like I'd say my lockdown has been busy rather than free.
Yeah, right. So I think that our day goes so scheduled that it's so packed, like from the morning to the evening, you have this myriad things to do, or you have passions to pursue, or books to read, or webinars to attend. So I think that is what has kept us busy. And I think I don't know, we say the perks of the pandemic that the world has opened up for us, I think, and there are many possibilities that we can explore now. We can connect this way. And I think this whole online world has kind of open because when we sought meetings before, we always thought to arrange our schedule and meet our friends. They might be busy, so let's shift it the other day. But it's not that. Like we just come together online from different. So happy to have you all here. So I think talking about this online platform and all, and since we all are medical students, and medical students who will be hearing us might also be so inquisitive to know about the hype that is the online classes. Like, how effective are your online classes going? What are your views on online classes? And are they really effective? Or should our part of the learning be maximized to go online? Or should we again return to our lecture halls? So I think we can hear your views on that.
Okay, so since we come from a country that is still developing its network base, so when the whole online class setup started, so first of all, it was easy for us to manage this, but it was hard for the teachers to adjust to this because this comes as a very new thing to them. They actually put in a lot of efforts to come into use of this. Actually, I saw even some of the professors taking help from their children who are actually like so big and married and all, like because the professors are like 50, 60, 70 years old. So when I saw them taking so much efforts to teach us, so I would not lie, in the first few months I was really motivated. Okay, I would make notes, study and all that, listen every online lecture. But in our college it was like 7 hours of lecture throughout continuous with a single break after 2 hours. So after first month, I think my juice got drained out, and there was no more enthusiasm from my side, and I just used to log into my class. And if there was a interesting surgery or you know uh, we were doing something neurosurgery or GI surgery, so yeah, I used to listen to surgery because I'm interested in surgery. Rest ophthalmology, ENT was like, okay, this is doable. I can study it from book, right? There's no need of listening. But since we had a attendance, some sort of attendance register, so yeah, we had to log into the class, right? So yeah, that was that, and probably missed few also because like always the morning, the 9 to 10 class was very hard to attend. So yeah, usually set up a backup system, fail-proof system that okay, if I do not attend, my friend should log in for me. So yeah, that was one of the mechanisms which I did. But yeah, now like the whole theory syllabus for my third year is done, so I'm pretty much more free. Yeah, but I also saw that some colleges were holding online MCQ exams for their internal marks. But I actually helped few of my friends from different colleges to attempt that. Like it's our college didn't do that because yeah, obviously we know that we like even the honest of honest person will not remain honest because the answers are being floated in the group, right? WhatsApp groups and all. So uh, yeah, that's why like it's a not a foolproof system. Like even though we set a time limit, right? Okay, if there are 30 questions and we give it 20 minutes, then also it is easy. Like we students know how to crack through every set of rules that we that the teachers set to avoid cheating and all. So yeah, that was it from my side.
Okay, I really connected to what Mehul just said because I even practice the same thing. I even used to connect to the internet and go to the online class and then sleep. If I was very sleepy, I used to sleep. Leaving that thing. So that was a fun part. But what I think is about these online classes. So COVID has directed history in one course. I think education system of developing countries. There are a lot of problems with technology, but as Mehul said, that teachers are trying to cope up with this technology. They are trying to learn, and students are very quick at learning technology. They have this advantage over how to create groups and share information. So what I think is I've come to realize that the transfer of knowledge, it's not just from teachers, and it used to be previously because we used to go to classes and learn from teachers. But I'm finding this drastic change that I'm getting 80% of knowledge that I'm getting each day from different other sources. It was like this college before, it used to like I'm this college, I'm at that college, but now we're all together and I'm learning from some Indian friends, some friends from another university. So that's a new thing to me because that it has opened a new realm of resources. So I think the online classes are really effective in clear imparting clear message, because we used to have problems like we used to sit at the back and we used to not hear a single thing, and we used to kind of sleep over there. But in online classes you have this essential freedom. If you want to learn today, you can just sit with a laptop or take notes. If you are bored, you can just go outside and sing a song. You can do anything. So that's a liberty that I was trying to find from a long time. So the online thing has given that. So I'm really lucky. And another thing I would like to say is, so we should just keep continuing some online portion after the pandemic is over. I think this should continue because we can learn from each other, and that thing has important part in overall education that we are getting. So we're also the technology has made the education overall more interesting, like using different resources. Like they were present before also, but we used to ignore them. For example, Lecturio and Osmosis, or maybe some online notes or some webinars. So I think this should continue after lockdown. That's my view on this.
Yeah, right. I can totally relate to what both of you just said. And like Mahendra said, the world has actually come so close, and we are being able to learn from everyone, everywhere. Like, as before, our learning is not limited to our country or to the professions that we have, but it has actually extended to like limitless opportunities. So I completely agree to what you just said, and I can totally relate to what Mehul said also. Like I don't know, we become so creative when it comes to attendance and exams. I, I actually wonder how we do this. So Astiti, is your experience similar, or if how is it different?
uh, every aspect has advantage and disadvantage. Like stated by UNICEF, Nepal, amongst Nepal population, two-thirds of the students are unaccessible to remote education. The internet quality here is poor. There is no synchronicity in audio and video in lectures in our college. How think about the schools and colleges in villages and remote places. However, as said by Mehul, it depends on the topic you are interested in to attend online classes. For me, pediatric classes are fascinating and are always clear and audible to me. I'm not sleepy too, but in other classes, it's like putting water in the sand. Having said that, these online classes encouraged me to study by myself. So I'm happy on that part. And other one benefit is that there are so many online webinars, so we get chance to learn. uh, and now in this pandemic it's free, so it's very good one. Yes, it has both advantage and disadvantage. Thank you.
Yeah, right. Aditi,
Yeah, hi.
how's it for you?
Yeah, to be honest, we didn't have our classes from college up to 3 weeks ago, I'd say. So they've just recently started. But yeah, there's this benefit that we do get, we can study as per how we want to. But yeah, we need, the teachers do need training in that aspect, I'd say, because, they don't, the amount of knowledge that they impart while, face to face conversation, they're not able to do it through social media, through media right now. So yeah, I guess if things change, and I'd say about India, they've recently starting this digitalize India sort of a scheme. So if they do that, and yeah, the teachers get training, then I guess this will be the best stream, the best way to study.
I totally agree, Aditi. But as Mehul said, even the teachers are putting their own efforts, and I think we need to respect that and appreciate that as well. But definitely, it's a long way to go, and I think it's the journey that we have to work together, like we as a student and
Yeah.
as teachers, right? This time actually is not normal, right? We are going through so much of challenges, and but at the same time, so many opportunities are also opening their door, and we might at times get confused, like which door to go, which door to choose, and which not to. COVID has brought this experience to all of us, like this very unique experience. I would like to know from you all that how has it changed from the beginning to now? Like at the beginning, it was it we weren't very sure that it would go this long. We are very uncertain. For me, actually, I during all this time of so many months, I have actually come a long way to contemplate about what I'm going through. How has it changed for you guys? Like, can you relate to the thoughts that you had at the beginning and now?
Yeah, so definitely I agree with you, Manita. Like in the starting, it was so difficult. Like we were thinking, okay, like I had come to home thinking that it was a 2 week thing, and I took clothes. Like, fortunately for me, my mom told, okay, bring your old clothes also. We'll wash your old clothes. So fortunately, I brought every of my other friend got only like 2 or 3 clothes, because since it was like just a 2 week thing, so nobody had imagined the impact of this lockdown. So definitely in the start it was a bit difficult, but you if you are in the right direction, the god shows you the way. So what happened was, for me, I was just whatever I had, like I was a part of 2 3 groups, right? So whatever came of the group, I was like, okay, let's do it. जो होगा देखा जाएगा, that sort of attitude. Okay, so there was this AMSA opportunities, okay, just came up, okay, like positions for several of the departments opened up. So my attitude was like, okay, I'll apply in 5. I might not get in any, but what's the big deal in applying, right? So I know that I have no AMSA activity in my hood, so definitely I'm not going to get one, because I always thought that, okay, there is a strata of experience through which you rise through the ranks, and all that things in my mind. So I told my father about this. Father said, okay, what's the big deal applying? Just apply. So I sat down applying. Just 5 minutes before, the link was gonna turn off. So my plan was to apply in 5 sections, but I could apply in only two, and that too I had to create a PPT, right? So I thought that, okay, my interview for IT position went much better, because I have I like how I got into medical. I don't know. I always had the inclination towards IT, like coding, learning skills and all that thing, editing, graphics, this and that. So I was okay. I'll become IT head, and will handle the Instagram of AMSA. That was my motto. But to my surprise, that didn't go through well. So I became the national officer of partnerships. I don't know how, because literally the person who took my interview laughed in my interview, and I was like, okay, there's no scope for me in this, right? So it's over for me. But when I look at that, and when I look at now, present today, like it's almost been 4 5 months, and I have learned so much. Like from the start to the end, there's so much value addition. The qualities which I've learned, like to name a few, are management. Like I now know why is MBA considered such a big thing in actual life. Like in real life, no degree or certificate matters. All it matters is your skill. If you have got the right skill set, you can do anything. So now I know the importance of MBA, and probably I'm planning to do MBA right after my MBBS, after my residency. So uh, like the people around me, they taught me so well. Everyone was so supportive, so open. Like I had zero experience in this when I came, and they supported me so well, like mentored me so well, that I learned so much from my peers, and everyone is so supportive. I like the best part in a medical community. I don't know about engineering community or different streams community. The best part in medical community is everyone is so supportive. Like whenever you connect to an international person from another place, they are like so supportive. They tell you, okay, I have this opportunity, do you want to learn it, do you want to participate, okay, I have this one, do you want to apply? And everyone is so supportive. I like so much about this medical community. Like, okay, I have chosen the right path. Now I feel that, okay, I have chosen the right. People are so supportive.
That was so good to hear. And I think what we got is that world is our home, and I think this pandemic has magnified it. And people are people, they connect to you, and we learned to navigate with sets of skills, right? And it's not the formal education or the definition that you write in the exam, but how you actually carry out when you go out in this world. So I think that was so good to hear, Mehul, and I think that'll be a lesson to so many of us as well. So thank you so much. So can we hear from you, Mahindra? Like, what are your thoughts pre-lockdown and then lockdown happened?
Absolutely. So I was listening to Mehul and I could just connect to everything he said because I'm finding this pattern in every student because initially we were like stuck in because we thought that this is a small thing, this will end in maybe 1 month 2 month, we'll get to the routine life. But later on when you came to realize that okay, this is going to stress for like 1 or 2 years, so we started exploring and filling all the forms that we got on the internet and giving interviews and doing like that. So I really connected to what he said. And the thing you said about clothes, so I'm really worried about my clothes which are in my hostel because I also didn't get time to bring them with me because I was in a vacation. So I'm really worried about my clothes right now, the first thing I would like to say. So beginning with the lockdown, I've seen this pattern in everyone that initially there was a kind of terror. Everyone was, I couldn't see a single person in the road because the group mentality was this is unknown virus and this is going to kill everyone. So that was the thing. Even I used to use all the precautionary measures in a very strict way. So but after some time, I think this is a human nature, we get bored of anything, even dangers like this. So the government also lifted off this lockdown and we went outside. I even went in a cafe with friends, and so I don't think that's a good thing. But I was really frustrated, or kind of I really wanted a break. So that was the mentality. And the since the cases are rising now, so I think I'm trying to just go with this new normal right now, not feeding myself with daily news right now, because initially we used to get updated with everyday news, and like one case has appeared and we used to get frightened. Okay, second case, okay, frightened. Now there are 100 cases, 500 cases daily, and we are like not caring because we're learning how to cope with. So I'm really finding this pattern in every economy. So for example, economy is suffering, but they're kind of adapting. So I think this greatest quality we have, that's adaptation. So we are every person in this lockdown is adapting to the new normal. So that is what is governing. So I would like to say something about AMSA as well, because Mehul pointed out how AMSA has been a great opportunity for opening up to people, management. So MBA, I'm really surprised that, okay, he's really interested in MBA. Even I'm also interested in MBA, but I think in an informal way, I am thinking of taking small courses about, managing things, managing company, or maybe startup, like things like that. So I think, so AMSA I think AMSA is that the first conference. I think I went in my first year. Oh, okay, second year I think. So now I'm finally a student. So I was very shy and timid person initially. I was really afraid of communicating with people. But this AMSA thing was really, so I went to South Korea, Seoul for the first time, and I was really surprised that so many people are interacting. They're very normal in speaking. So that boosted my confidence. Okay, so I felt a initial difficulty, but later on I was frank with everybody. So and that's where I connect to Mehul, that everyone is supportive outside. They just inculcate us in that great culture of Asia, or maybe you can say international Americos. So that greatly boosted cooperating, collaborating with people. And so this AMSA conference was also very interesting. I met some of my AMSA Nepal friends. So I know Pratna and Astuti from AMSA conferences only. So that's a really good thing.
That's so nice to hear, Mahendra. You have explained everything so well, and the part that clicked to me was you worrying about your clothes in hostel. Just as today, a friend of mine was telling, sending this meme about clothes and how he's having this whole back ache, even thinking about it. So, so it's quite relatable to everyone. And about AMSA, actually, this is my first experience with AMSA, and I think it's a great community. I had actually a whole lot of amazing experiences, and I think, like as you said, when we open up to people, we get this amazing help and this feeling of that you are also a part of that community, and that's great. Astuti, how has your experience been? Whole this lockdown and this COVID experience, and you might also share your AMS experience here as well.
I also can relate to both of them. At the beginning, I thought I came to home just for 1 month vacation because the cases in Nepal were not in rising phase at that time, and the cloth issues match for all of us. Uh, but now with this condition being so grateful, I have more clear vision for future. I learned, most importantly, I learned importance of family, and mental health is on the top of priority for all of us now. As Mahendra says, trying to go with the new normal. Yes, we all are trying to go, trying to cope up with these mental issues, as well as the different changes that has been brought in the world by this COVID pandemic. Talking about AMSA, I was a participant of 2018 AMSA, which took place in Nepal. And now, after participating in AMSA Alumni Club conference, it made me realize the helpfulness of medical fraternity is so great that we can get help from all over the world. If for any new initiative that we want to take, that we want to do, so I'm so glad to be part of this community. Thank you.
Right, we all are so proud to be the part of this community. This, as Mehul said, this medical fraternity. It's so lovely that we all come together when it comes to things like this. Aditi, how has your experience been? I would really love to hear from you as well.
My experience, I'd say, see, I was like, when lockdown was initiated, I was like, yeah, it's a vacation for 15 days, as everybody else said. So like, I was just just binge watching, and I just was like, I didn't do anything productive. But like, I definitely say this, that this lockdown has brought a lot of changes in our lives, that each and every single person out there has developed themselves in some way or the other. Maybe they've also brought their hobbies back that we in our medical colleges have left and we could not do because of the hectic schedule. And I guess it has a lot of pros, I'd say, this lockdown, because even right now I'm talking to you, and if the lockdown wouldn't have been there, maybe I wouldn't have met such amazing people like you. So yeah, I'm really grateful for this. So yeah, I'm definitely saying that my mindset before and my mindset now has definitely changed, as I myself am trying to be as productive as I can. Like, I right now, like, I applied for the post of the secretary in Rotract. Okay, so like, I'm the secretary right now, and if I was in college, I would have just conducted like 10 or 15 events the whole year. But like this just month of August, my team has conducted around like 15 projects already in a month. So like there's like another, just a spike in what we can do and what products and what productivity we can actually achieve. Yeah, so like that's all.
That's so relatable. And AMSA is one community, I think, which has also transformed me from an introvert to extrovert. And yes, obviously, the clothes. I don't even want to think about it because we're having such a positive conversation right now. So let's not bring that to the mind. And like Aditi said, like we found a different ecosystem where we can actually manage our events so efficiently, and the ideas that we have in our mind comes into implementation so fast and so well. So I think that is the very, very it's more like a good thing that this pandemic brought about. And in AMSA as well, right? So we had this amazing experience. I don't know for you guys, like was it your first, or it was you were acquainted with this before as well. But hackathon was something that really, really intrigued me, and what we had was so amazing that I was actually using the brain to think about ideas and bring about different aspects, and actually thinking about implementing it. Because I think in medical school, all that we do is like mug up and then write in the papers. And I think we don't use our brain that much like we use it in tech or IT, like Meho has said. So let's talk about our hackathon experience. Like, was it the first, or what you learned from this hackathon? And you can also give our viewers some ideas about what hackathon is, like some people who might not have been exposed to this.
Okay, so see, basically, hackathon is a platform for intersectorial collaboration. What do I mean by intersectorial is that whatever medical devices you see right now in the hospital, be it pulse oximeter or the ventilator system or any medical equipment which you see right now, right? So that is the result of efforts of biomedical engineers, medical personnel, and engineers in totality, plus business uh, business personnels, innovators. A lot of people are involved in that. Not a single sector can develop a medical device or something innovative like that. So what a hackathon does is it brings persons from different, like for example, in a team, if there are 8 spots, then there are two medicos, two engineers, two biomedical engineers, then two business persons. So what it does is the medical person gives the underlying medical problem that actually we are facing in right now in hospitals. The engineer comes up with the prototype of the model or the device which we can actually, it is feasible right now to develop. The biomedical person sees that, okay, whether this is ethical on the on the medical side, and can it be integrated on the tech part, right? And the business one person sees the complete implementation part, the business model. Okay, how are we gonna start it? Like for example, for any innovative device to be uh, in its inception stages, for example, like we use teeth, right? So in COVID pandemic time, people are conceptualizing, okay, what if there is a wireless stethoscope? Like the patient, we can tell the patient, okay, keep in auscultation zones, and the doctor sitting much far away from the patient can just put the earpiece of the stethoscope and hear. So this is something new, right? That okay, we can integrate the Bluetooth in the diaphragm part of the stethoscope. So this cannot be done only by the medicos, right? So this prototyping is done by the engineer as well as the biomedical engineer. Now how to sell it to the community? Now there is a way of presentation or pitching an idea to a company. You cannot start out by yourself. Okay, if you're a group of 6 or 8 people, you cannot just we have patented our product and now we are going to sell in the market. You need a business model to how to bring it out in the market. So that was the business person does is they see, okay, the model is this, which target segment of the market are is our competition, how are we better than that our competitors, what is our unique selling points. So that's what the business person does. So it is not only the idea of the medico which comes into place, it is the collab between all the sectors in this field to come for the betterment of the public health. Okay. And first of all, like in my first second year also, before joining any hackathon, I used to think, okay, hackathon, okay, since my family is full of engineers, okay, hackathon means okay, coding and all. So I went for a hackathon. Okay, I took my laptop also. When I reached in the hackathon, the professor said, "Why have you bought a laptop? There's no need of laptop here." Oh my God, I was so much disillusioned there. So it's a great experience. Like AMSA hackathon was a great experience. It was actually my second hackathon. First one was a wearable device one. So okay, I won't give you much like go to the details of what a hackathon, like what is the basic. I'll just give you a brief layout. Like okay, so what a hackathon is, like in the starting you have to come up with a problem statement. Okay, like for example, like the example I gave is death. Like due to the COVID, you can't have contact devices, right, due to spread of transmission. So your problem is this. Now you have to come up with a solution. So that's the second part. So after you declare a problem statement, you have to connect with people who have like-minded problems with them, so that you can form a team. So after you have formed a team, you have to continuously brainstorm on your idea and find and retune your idea. And hackathon is basically you are doing improv on the very, you know, on the spot. Like hackathons are usually 40 to 8 hours. Like maximum I've seen is 48-hour hackathons. Like AMSA hackathon was way shorter than that. But usually hackathons are 48-hour hackathons in which forget about sleep and food and all. There's so much adrenaline rushing through you right there that you forget about sleep and food and all. Okay, so it's a very short event, and there you do not have to build the device right there. You just have to come up with the idea and its feasibility, sustainability, and viability. Okay, that it is actually serving a it is actually going to solve a problem in a community, right? So all that is done in a very precise manner. If you have good people in your group, you can definitely, even if it's your first, you can. And do not look keep your mindset that okay, I'm participating in hackathon to win. There is nothing like winning, there's only learning. So as I would state this sentence, I attended the AMSA hackathon. Okay, the keynote speaker was Adriana. Okay, and there was a line which she said. Okay, and that line stuck with me, and I am going to keep it with me forever. That she said, okay, I participated in 9 hackathons and I didn't win, but I participated in 10th one and I won. So she said that I didn't participate to win, I participated to learn. Because of learnings of my 9 hackathon, I could make it to the 10th in the finals. So yeah, that's what you are basically looking to innovate, not to win. So if, you have to keep that goal in your mind. Okay. So yeah, basically that much is it. And yeah, about AMSA hackathon. Okay, so you guys know we met this awesome group of people, including Manita, and there was, I think we were a group of 8 or something, and we did on the spot so much improv, so much brainstorming. I can't even tell you. Like it added, literally it added spice to my boring lockdown life. Like I looked as to those 2 days of my weekend to be the best part of my lockdown till now. Like I haven't met a good group of people till now. Like that was the best hackathon group hands down till now. So thank you guys for having me over.
That's so that's so great to hear, Mehul, and you have practically explained everything that we need to know about hackathon. And even though the AMSA hackathon was my only experience, I'm having this feeling that I have attended dozens of hackathons already, and I know everything about it. So all thanks to you that you have explained it so beautifully. Mahinda, how was your hackathon experience? Let's hear from you.
About me, this was my first experience of hackathon, though I was really interested in, I had heard of this thing, but I was also very illusionary about, we need to know coding and stuff like that to produce some ideas and, kind of implementation part. At least we need to know basics of coding. So I even tried to learn a few things about Java and things like that, but, it didn't go well and because we don't get time during our medical school. So regarding hackathon, I would just like to highlight few things which I think are very important, as Mehul said, since it's I would like to correlate that with our medical education. So I think medical education is too boring, I think, because we're just continuously retrieving the that learned information and not adding a single thing at least. And research is also a very long term project, and that's not a creativity thing, I think. So initially in class 10 or like that, we used to create something. So my first QBasic small output was very rewarding at that time. I created something and that gave me output, and I was really excited about that. So I couldn't complete or progress. I couldn't continue with that journey. I was really regretful. But now knowing hackathon in a proper way, now I think it's an essential part. It carries that spirit of innovation within it. And another thing, as Mehul said, it is a multi-sectorial thing. So it brings different people of different sectors and different genres so together, so that we can brainstorm and solve a problem. So I'm really fascinated about. I'm still fascinated. Still fascinated about opening a startup and solving a problem, that entrepreneurial thing. So I find this hackathon kind of a mini intensive program where we can generate something and people go on to start their first startup project. So I find it very good. I think I'm thinking from AMSA conference that how can we inculcate this hackathon thing in our medical education, because we also need an innovation. And another thing I would really like to emphasize is I love about hackathon is it connects directly with the community, because since we generate something and we analyze the feasibility, applicability, and so many things. So we are considering community directly in that, and solving a problem is essential part of helping the community. So that's another thing. And regarding that small session of hackathon, there are multiple parts to it which fascinated me even further, like assembling, knowing strangers, and you start collaborating right there, right then, and you pitch in your ideas, and you have that short amount of time, you have to hit that button to win. So though now I think we had a great idea in AMSA Hackathon, so I'd like to share a few experiences about AMSA Hackathon as well. So our idea was we were not very prepared about hackathon thing. I must admit, we were prepared, but not in a very professional way as Mehul is prepared. I think he was really prepared at that time as well. So we shifted idea to another topic during those I think short time we got, because there was some difficulty. But our idea was, since we are getting all these resources floating around in this pandemic, so where we thought about creating a platform where doctors could come and students could come. And for example, I'm living in Kathmandu and I can find someone of medical sector nearby to me, so we can share some resources. It was kind of sharing resources, talking to doctor, talking to students, kind of thing. So we couldn't employ that structure to that idea. So we just lost. But the essential thing, as Mehul said, was learning. We got to know great people. We got to know how people generated ideas. I was really fascinated how finale occurred. There were a lot of ideas I could connect to. For example, that uh, there was one about communicable disease, solving a problem through telemedicine. So I'm really fascinated. So how can we go on in that idea? And one more thing I would like to highlight is that I've learned in this hackathon is, even if you lose, your idea is not bad. I think because if you trust your idea, you may have forgot some elements, and you may have not hit the judges, but you can certainly hit the community. So that's a more important thing, I think. And that prototype certainly helps, I think. So I'm really excited about how in a small amount of time we generate such an useful idea, and some people go on to start their journey. So I would like to participate in few more hackathons if I could get some links from Mehul as well. So that's it.
Hackathon was a unique experience, I think, for every one of us from here in Nepal, because we had not heard about it, and Asuti and I were in the same team. So let's hear it from Asuti how her experience was working I know it was such a rush, but do you have anything to say, Astuti?
It was my first hackathon experience, and believe me, it was amazing. And the hackathon brought people all over the world. Like we were from Indonesia, India, we were from Nepal, so close. The group work and the time limit added more spice to the program. Our teamwork was valuable. I still remember introducing oneself to each other, and at the end of the day, we were so close and we were great friends, and even shared our Instagram profile to remain in contact. The energy to bring some great ideas out of our brain box and trying to formulate plan to execute it in action fill our body with adrenaline rush. We were so enthusiastic to complete our project. Kudos to our team, and I felt that rush to do something after such a long time. Hackathon has been so well explained by the Mehul, and as you said, it is much better and is great for startups, and as you said, for bio medical appliances and starting any business. These hackathons will provide lots and lots of ideas. It was such a great learning experience, and that's all.
Study hearing from you, like even I'm remembering all those draws that we had. Me, Mehul, and Aditi, we were in the same team, and I can't imagine telling you guys how, like unprepared and what draws we had. But it was really fun, and I had amazing experience. Aditi, would you like to tell more about it?
Yeah, like I guess everybody's had actually told you guys like what hackathon really is. So I'll just like share what my experience was. Like I'd say like the AMSA hackathon was my first experience as well. And this is something that would intrigue your mind at a level that it starts working on you. It's on its own, and it helps you a lot. Like it develops you as a person as well, and it helps you to think in like different perspectives. And the way we get different types of people having totally different thinking, and then we actually work with these people. It also leads to like having that team power that we can say that we can learn. And I would really urge like every single person out there to experience this for sure. And like this experience was like so intriguing for me that I've joined the MIT hackathon as well. I'm there with you, Mehul. So yeah, so like we've just pitched in for everything, so let's hope for the best.
That's amazing, Aditi. All the best, Aditi, and all the best to Mehul as well. I hope that you really nail this. Like me and Mehul, we were in the same team. So we just had almost maybe about 30 minutes to pitch our presentation. And, we were just starting to prepare our presentation. Mehul, like, can you brief like exactly what was our idea to everyone?
Okay, so I think idea part I would like to delegate it to Aditi because I have really forgotten the specific details because I was like for the past 2 days I have been too engrossed in this one, so I have really forgotten the idea. But yeah.
Yeah, so I guess you guys wanted to know what our project was. So yeah, like we were, planning to target mental health of people due to COVID-19. So, we actually invented, like we were thinking of making an app that would, with an AI, a chatbot maybe. So like it was something like when you open the app, you'll be given a questionnaire. Okay, and after you fill the questionnaire, that questionnaire will tell you what kind of a problem that you have. Like suppose it's and oh sorry, I'm like it was an app that targeted every single health out there and not just mental health. So yeah, sorry about that. Even I got confused because right now I'm working in mental health. So yeah, so So like the first questionnaire would be, and you'll answer that, and maybe I'm directed to the GI section. Like maybe, see, I have a stomach ache, and this bot tells me that I need to go to the GI section. Fine, then I'll be taken there, and there, like, as we doctors ask people about, the detailed questions, those questions related to the stomach, related to the GI tract would be asked, and accordingly it would be screened as to what issue I have. And there are specialists, and there are like different specialists in GI as well. And if it is just a small issue, it can be directly directed to a physician, a normal physician, and they can have a virtual conversation and like get the meds and be done with, rather than going to a clinic, which we are right now scared and will be scared too, because we'll be really cautious in coming in contact with people after the COVID period. And yeah, so like, and if it is a very serious issue, we can just like have the specialist give an appointment, and then according to the appointment, taking proper social distancing, then we can go and get our work done. So like this was the basic idea that we had for the project. And yeah, like as Mehul just suggested, like this project we did not have a proper business idea about, and it was just a project that we came across. But even I understood this, that we need to know that this starting part of the problem, the solution, the implementation part is really important. Will it be accessible? Will it be able to actually solve the problem?
That was so lovely to hear, Mehul and Aditi, about the myriads of ideas, because many a times we only think that medical studies is a hectic thing, and that the only thing that we'll be doing is passing these 5 years and then going into consultation or doing a practice. But I think there's so much we can impact right from the level where we are. And I think seeing your ideas come into fruition and maybe stumbling, failing, and then again rising, and seeing it all build up, I think that's the best thing that can happen to any one of us. So these ideas are so wonderful. So let's see what Mohindra has to say about his hackathon idea.
Regarding my experience, it was a bit different, I would say, because we just lost in the first round. I think it's a shameful thing to say, but no, it's not shameful. But we lost in first round. Then we thought about chilling, and we went backstage, and one of my Indonesian friends, she sung a song for us, and we were like, she was playing guitar, and we were listening to her song. We could connect because it was Hindi or it was English sometimes, so like that. And we also played few games, few online games together, and it was a good time of rapport building. So I get to know, I still remember Malika Eki, she was from Indonesia, Malika India, Sekar, he was also from India, Manu. So Manu was very interesting. I would like to remember her because three of us were presenting, pitching our ideas. So she created that abbreviation called MMS. So that was our initial letter. So MMS, go on, rock the stage. So that kind of cheerful environment was that. So I really cherish those moments. And I would like to remember Pravesh and Subhasta. So they are my friends from AMSA. So it was a very happy experience during the hackathon. Okay, so I'd like to highlight is, okay, we Nepali students should also opt to involve in these hackathon and kind of these activities, because they open this new creative realm. So I would like to discuss with you guys, Manita and Pratna as well. And I would also like you guys to share your experiences as well. So you guys are hosting this thing, but you can share your experience, your funny experiences as well. So that's it from my side. Thank you.
So as Mahendra has said, so let's share the experience. So fortunately, I and Nasati were in the same team in Hackathon, and we had literally no idea what Hackathon is. So we just heard the word Hackathon in AMSA, and then we contacted each other and said, okay, now let's form a team. So we don't know who our team members are, or who are they. So we just randomly made a WhatsApp chat, and a few of them replied, and there were 4 or 5 of us. And in the morning, we got to meet each other, and then we we had so many ideas discussed, but we decided on doing something which has been neglected. And there were many flaws because we were learning. The best thing that we could do was just define the problem, because that is what we have been doing many a times in our medical school as well. So we decided to form an ecosystem by which the healthcare needs of chronically ill people are taken care of, which is very much neglected during this time of COVID, as the health system is almost packed here in Nepal. Because of the cases that are rising, there are no hospitals, and I think the people here will have a hard time because of the lockdown as well. So we decided on having a kind of a registry where we have the names registered and about of the people who are chronically ill, and then and then from the local level itself, we'll try to supply them with medications or give them consultations via online doctors who come to our platform, or refer them to certain hospitals. So this is what we were thinking about. So it's a very vague idea, but however, the implementation part did not go quite well because we don't know what business is, or I don't think that we quite understand the business model. But we identified different stakeholders who might help us, but we don't know why would they help us, or how can we give back to them. So we know that we'll take help from these people, but why are we taking help from these people, or why should they help us? So there was a bit of a fog there of understanding as to why and how we implement it. But however, it was a good idea, and I think, Astuti, that later in the future maybe we should go on to implement this as well.
Yes, in the future, I think we should be, as so many of us from Nepal have participated in hackathon, we should organize one, and we should try to bring, as Mehul said, some business, people who have idea on business, some people who have idea in IT sector, and try implementing these startups right from the root from our country. Yeah, that would be great.
Right? Hearing so many ideas right now, I'm having this feeling that if we can come together and actually make this happen, it would be so wonderful. But if we actually sit down and then start thinking about what exactly we can do about certain problem, we definitely can come up, right? So I think this is the thing that hackathon teaches every one of us. Even my experiences was great. As Aditi and Mehul also shared, it was a crazy one, but definitely a lovely one. So, guys, we are almost at the end. We're so glad that you all came and we had this wonderful chat.
Guys, you're really, really great. And you know, this thing that I get to meet each and every one of you, even today and the last hackathon, it is something really, really unique for me. And I would definitely like to, be in contact with you guys and yeah, like make new friends for sure.
Even we would love to do that, Aditi. It's so nice knowing you.
Okay,
So
I just want to thank Prathna and Manita for this podcast. Okay, you guys are doing such an amazing job. Like in fields like this, when you have no mentor, like I can feel the need for such platforms, because I am from a non-medical background and I have no mentor for me to show light. And so I feel that you guys are doing such an amazing job. Thank you for having me. Thank you. Really privileged.
I would like to thank my friends Patna and Manita who invited me over, and it was such a wonderful time talking to you all, sharing experiences, laughing. Yes, this made my night. Thank you.
Okay, from my side. So I'd like to first of all thank you guys for letting me know these, amazing people and their ideas. And one more thing I would like to learn from you guys is consistency, because in this lockdown, I've messed up few things. I've opened a YouTube channel, but I couldn't, cope up with producing some content. I've planned on this Instagram and, endorsing something. But the problem is, continuing the thing. So I would like to learn this thing, how you guys are so consistent with this thing, and you guys are adding the quality. So I've listened your podcast few times, and I found that it has been growing continually. So I will learn that from you, and thank you so much for having me.
thank you so much, everyone, for coming and inspiring us, Mehul and Aditi from India who have come, even Mahindra and Astuti. It's so fun to have this chat besides the classes that we attend or the universities that we go. So this is our creative outlet, and we are so happy that you guys have come over and shared so many things, and many students will be inspired by what you had to share. So I think it's pretty late, and we had a very, very good conversation, and you might be hungry if you have not had your dinner. So I think we should end it. So thank you so much for coming, everyone.
Good night,
Thank
everyone.
Good night,
Bye.
guys.